Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the stage.
Oh, yeah. 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 Boop, boop. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Woo! Let go, let go. Look, we about to get it brackin' in this bitch. You just tuned into the latest channel on Twitch. And I am T-Pain, you know the OG. So when you think of legends, I am one of those kings. Hope please, get on both knees. I'm your host tonight, but feel free to host me. I'm a big brainer, pro gamer. Other channels lame-o, they no namers. 5 subs, 20 subs, 50. Yeah, I can't put money in the bank cause it won't fit in. I stay loyal to my royals and you know I can't switch. Take the trash outside, better get out my face, bitch. That's what's up. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, that's what's up. Hey, that's right. Let's go check.
That's right, guys. Once again, I reached out to my friend T-Pain and had him make an intro for us because I don't know if Josh, you have had T-Pain do your intros?
Nope, I'm not on that status. I'm not up to par.
One day. Well, and maybe I can hook you up. It'd be awesome.
Day.
Josh is a Logic guy. He's all about having Logic do his intro.
Hey, that would work.
Yeah,
we can do that.
I've got copyrighted a couple times doing that.
Oh. Well, I will say that T-Pain has not actually copyrighted that particular
That's good.
lyric thing. Me and him, we're like this. Some people are like this. We're like this. Like he doesn't know I exist, so it's all good. Anyways, what's up, guys? We are back. Another Book of Boba Fett in the house. Oh, I got one more guest down here hiding out in the dungeons. But we're back with. Usually we have the Yes Man here, but Yes Man has been replaced by the No Man. So we got Mike over here, the No Man, which is that's gonna be interesting. We got he's changed his name to Seamus. I was gonna say not Sideshow Support.
We're not talking about Sideshow, so at this point I have nothing even want to talk about Sideshow.
Right on. Josh Pence is in the house. He's been here like a year ago.
Yeah, it has been a while. Sheesh.
It has, man. But you have. I was messing with him earlier. Said you've been in the back of the tank, but now you're all healed up.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right. Well, he's back doing hunt videos, and I saw you were preparing for your Razor Crest, which I am also super stoked for.
I'm very excited. I finally actually got my shipping notice today. Like it's left the facility. So
you got the email that it left, or did FedEx actually say it left?
The FedEx thing.
Yeah, because I have FedEx tracking on mine. Oh, nope, it hasn't left. I have tracking on it, but it's still on a pallet somewhere. So
yeah, it's a bummer.
But here's the good news:
still in pieces somewhere.
According to FedEx, it is going to be estimated delivery is Friday, the 11th, before the end of the day.
That's what mine said until this morning.
But I don't know. Hasbro stuff to me generally gets here in like 2 days, so that's not a problem. But I'm super excited for that. We got Josh in the house. We got Medic in the middle down there, and I guess he's ruling. Yeah, he's in Star Wars land.
Absolutely.
Dune. I don't know. No, it's Star Wars land. And then we got this guy down here whose his mic is muted. This guy down here.
I had it muted because my wife was making popcorn, and that thing is really loud. So that's why I was being considerate.
Was it just like
ever
regular
accuses me
popcorn,
of it.
or was it that flavored stuff?
No, she's got it's regular popcorn, but then she has this like movie theater like oil butter type thing that you then put on top of it, so makes it extra healthy. That's
for the gains.
It is.
It's a different kind of gains, but you get gains.
It tastes really good, but yeah.
Right. Tonight's stream is sponsored by Sundrop. Not really, though. One of these days. Last stream, I was bribed into drinking a Monster, and I really don't want to do that again. So, I had the original one, and it was like a knockoff Red Bull. It just wasn't.
Just isn't as good.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull is just melted Smarties right?
Agree. That might be why I liked him. That might be it. All right, so I'm going to throw this banner up there, guys. If you have not seen the recent episode of Book of Boba Fett, what the hell are you doing here? I like. See ya. I mean, make your own, view it yourself, make your own, just observations on what you like and don't like, and all that kind of fun stuff. But we're going to jump into this thing. We'll talk about this particular episode, and I guess we can talk about the series as a whole. We got some Hot Toys news to talk about. We got some other Disney Plus news to talk about. We'll definitely get into that, and we're going to be here for like 9 hours. So that's no, we don't do 9-hour streams. So we're good. But I would love to hear from you guys in the chat while we're kind of talking about this. Go ahead and let us know your thoughts on this most recent finale episode on it. But I want to let's see if I can't share screen. I'm going to share this Chrome window. Hey, you know what? Window. This is what I want right here. Boom. Let's get into this breakdown. So the beginning of the episode, Cad Bane's doing this thing with the Pike Syndicate, and then out of nowhere we get an X-wing. So how many people got excited that this might be Luke?
I was a little.
I would hope everybody.
Yeah, I honestly thought it was going to happen. I was like,
I didn't expect it. I didn't expect it to be him. They already did that entrance in Mando, so I thought it would have been weird if they just did it again.
I don't know about an interest, but come to help, right? Like we were going to see Luke help Boba, and then that was going to take place. That's what not that more so like, oh, he made an appearance again. Like we've seen him.
I thought if anything, it would be Ahsoka coming to help Mando.
Oh, that would have been interesting.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I don't know how she's getting from planet to planet on what ship she's running around in. I don't know, but that's an interesting thought. I legitimately thought it would be Luke coming in. I thought Luke would bring Grogu. I didn't realize he'd send out R2 to do his thing.
You don't want to bring your girl over to the guy that she dumped you for.
Ooh. Are you thinking Luke might be a little salty?
I mean, maybe.
His very first Padawan, and
now he's got to stick with Ben as his first student.
Yeah,
we all know how that turns out. So
yeah, that's true. It didn't turn out. It turned out fine for some people. I thought it was Luke, but it was interesting to see R2 again, and then bringing Grogu in here. But I guess I want to kind of just do this, Mike, since you were the no man. Overall thoughts.
I mean, I tried to approach this episode critically. I wanted to look at each individual piece. How did the action fit in? How did this build the greater Star Wars, mythology? How did it develop the characters? And all of that analysis is summarized with, it was hot trash. Ooh. I was so disappointed when I watched this thing this morning. I had there was one point in the entire episode that I was like, okay, you made the right choice. And then every other scene was just so obviously the wrong choice, in my opinion. And I know I'm going to get the hate mail, but
no, I'm with you, man.
It's because you don't like the Power Rangers. Is that what it is?
Well, so the characters were stupid. So here, I'll give you the quick 30-second synopsis. The characters were stupid. Instead of, barricading themselves in the palace in a protective, zone, I'm going to send my 1 and 2 people into the individual parts of the city to be easy targets. And they're supposed to be there watching for the Pike Syndicate, but they watch not in the alleyways or up on the, the rooftops, but they literally stand in the middle of the busiest street and then are surprised when each one is individually picked off. So the characters themselves were stupid. The writing was really stupid. I'll have to come up with another word other than stupid, but there was a scene that could have so easily been Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid with Boba and Mando and him saying, this is the way, and then charge out there into the gunfight. And instead somebody writes in the Major Domo scene to completely take yourself away from the drama and change the scene. And there were a whole bunch of scenes like that where if they had just made a different choice, it could have had some real meaning to it. And the last thing I have a lot of things, but the last thing that I'll kind of point out is Rogue One was an amazing film because characters that we really genuinely cared about died. Star Wars was the same thing. We lost Obi-Wan, we lost his parent or his adoptive parents. There was weight in that film. In this film, I lose 2 unnamed guards and 2 of the bikers that I don't know their names, while I can put 15 bullets into Black Chrysanthemum, who apparently has some sort of self-healing function, because he goes from being almost dead in one scene to running across the street in another to then being almost dead again. I just thought it was so poorly executed that I want Bryce Dallas Howard to do the rest of Star Wars, and I don't want Rodriguez anywhere near it.
I think that was the thing. Robert Rodriguez was a fail. He utterly because I think there was huge potential with this episode to do some awesome things, and he didn't. And that was sad. So, Josh, since you're our resident new guy guest here, you earlier said it was a bust for you as well. So, what you said the series was a bust?
Yeah. I did my math today because I don't count episode 5 and 6 when I judge the Book of Boba Fett, but I still divide my score by 7 because it's still technically in the series. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I came out with a 4.5 out of 10 for the series. The 4th episode was probably my favorite outside of the Mando stuff. This episode was fine, but I'm glad it's over just because I can stop waking up so early on Wednesdays. I mean, I agree with everything that he said. Is it Mike?
That's Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mike, sorry.
Mike, yeah. No, you're good.
Man, no man thing is something different.
No, you're good, man. I agree with everything he said, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse with that. But my, God, I'm so disappointed with everything, man. It makes me nervous for Obi-Wan, and I know we're not talking about that yet, but I don't understand how in the last episode you bring in such a great character in a beautiful way, in my opinion, cinematically, and then just kill him off. And to me, it was so easy to kill him off in terms of what happened and how that happened.
Yep.
And it almost did a disservice to that character in terms of how much time we've spent with him with the Clone Wars and everything, like for people who have actually know who that character is. And to finally see him live action, it was great. We were all excited, and then it was done. And I mean, is he really dead? I mean, who knows? It's Star Wars, but I
don't think he's dead.
When they showed the blinking on his chest plate when he was laying on the ground, and I think that's like the "I'm alive" symbol.
Cad Bane was taken out with the version of sweep the leg.
Yeah.
And I find it cleverly ironic that Boba had the gaffy stick at that point after he came back. He hasn't had it any other time he's been Boba, I don't think. But I literally haven't paid attention to any episode.
Well, he was going into war though. He was prepared.
Sure. But when he stabbed Cad, like you heard like some like weird like respiratory thing. And I don't know if I was just hearing things or whatever, but it sounded, because I know those tubes are for his breathing so he can't get force choked or something from the Jedi or whatever. So I don't know what's going on there. But anyways, yeah. It sucks that we didn't get to see him. I mean, I'll be honest, even if we see him again, it's not going to have the same effect as if like Boba whooped his ass and like something else came at him and Cad like ran away, and Boba was like, okay, like I got to go deal with this instead of finishing Cad. Like something to like, that would have been much better in my opinion, to like kind of get Cad out of the war or whatever. And for Boba still to do whatever he was doing or did whatever he did. Because at the beginning of the season, it was, I'm going to rule. And at the end of the season, it's, I don't think I'm cut for this anymore. It's like,
right. Yes.
What? How?
Yes.
What are you
I don't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. I want to settle down. I'm going to roll this joint. But yeah, in a matter of weeks,
literally.
In his time, like
Yoda Pagoda made a good point. What Josh was talking about with the gaff stick. He went back to the palace to get the Rancor.
Yeah.
So, that's when he got his gaff stick.
I mean, okay, so I get what they were trying to do. Like, And also with taking out Cad with the gaffy stick after Cad was, poking the bear with talking about the Tuskens and how the Pike did. I get that, but it's just like, I guess the irony of all this stuff. Cad shoots him, and then it's just like a 3-step bam, and then Cad Bane is dead that quick. Yeah. After they just brought him in, it's not like he's been a villain the whole season. It's just like we finally got Cad versus Boba, and it ends in 45 seconds, and it's with the gaffy stick, and I get that, but it's just like, I don't know. I moved to the next person.
It was. I mean, you're on the money, man.
I don't know, man.
I mean, listen. Let me throw this out here. If you enjoyed it, don't let us rain on your parade. That's not. If you enjoyed it, enjoy whatever you like. That's fine.
I enjoyed it.
That's fine. So let's go to the person who enjoyed it and bash him. Medic. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, overall was and we'll go from a series and the show and the last episode as a whole. Was it great? Was it like spectacular? No, it wasn't. Like, there's definitely no man up there, and everybody said there's definitely things that could have been better. But at the end of the day, we got more Star Wars content to watch. Is that really a bad thing? I mean, that's just my, anytime I get something extra Star Wars to watch other than the original trilogy or prequels or, anytime I get something to watch Star Wars, I'm happy. Now, granted, yes, things definitely could have done better, could have done the end of the show differently, could have made it more dramatic pause for effect, kind of thing. But, at the end of the day, like, it's still Star Wars. It's still a, overall okay show. I mean, I'll probably go back and watch the series again in a few months, and I could feel completely different, or it could be like I am right now. But I mean, we got Cad Bane live, we got Boba Fett, we got Mando, which I personally probably would have been happier not seeing Mando in the book of Boba Fett. Overall, because I mean, as we've all mentioned last week, the best episodes of the series were with Mando. So, take away, get rid of. I understand the whole backstory of here's how Boba got out. Here's the whole backstory saga, but that could have been done in one episode. Move on, call it a day. Not 4 episodes. Half of them being flashbacks each episode. But overall, I mean, still, it's Star Wars, and it's what we didn't have. We didn't have it before, so
that's
I'll
fair.
take that as it is.
That's fair. I mean, it's my problem with this last one. This last one was, like you said, episode 5 and 6, where we had Mando heavy content. I was excited at the end of it. I watched this one this morning, and I was just like, "Oh, that's it? Like, that's okay."
Yeah, I was happier before this episode than after.
Yeah, that's the roller coaster emotions that we get from Star Wars, right? Yeah. So we have these episodes and movies that we love, and then we get these episodes and movies that we don't even consider them when we talk about Star Wars, right? So I mean, we're gonna have the bad. This episode felt flat to me. I think it was Prime One Collector mentioned it earlier. That to me, that kind of sums it up for me. It felt flat, but that's the roller coaster of emotions that we always get with when it comes to Star Wars. So I mean,
right.
I will agree with Medic. We got Cad Bane. We got a live Cad Bane. No one expected that.
Right.
We've seen there's characters in there that we've seen. Mando, I really don't care whether or not he's in it. I didn't mind. I thought it was cool to see him. I think I could have maybe not so much as how much the storylines intertwined with each other. Maybe I think we could have had a little bit more separation of that. But other than that, I mean, it was what it was.
Yeah.
You
would give it like a 8.3.
I knew you were going there. No,
8.3.
Yeah. No, and here's the thing: we got so much more Star Wars that's coming that, to me, I'm like, great. Saw the season finale, felt it was flat. I moved on. That's not. I think that we can't let that be the deciding factor of all these other good episodes. Well, if you liked a lot of the other episodes, how good they were, and how excited we got when we saw them. That's. I don't want to use this one particular episode to summarize this entire season that we got.
No, not this one episode, but the other 4 that didn't include Fett, but or didn't include Mando. All right, Brendan, I haven't asked you what your thoughts were on this thing. I can only guess, but you go ahead, man.
Floor's yours.
I'm gonna get my popcorn beer back.
I'm waiting, man. I'm curious.
I never thought I would say this about a Star Wars show or a Disney Plus show in general, because even with the sliding scale of how we would rank the Marvel shows so far, I never thought I would actually say that if we don't get a second season, I'm okay with that.
Ooh.
Like, you know what? And here's the thing: I don't hate this show. I just don't care about it. And it's that, like it did nothing for me in the larger sense. And I was talking with Lael earlier and some other people, and I was like, if I ranked like my top 5 favorite things about this series, I don't know if Boba Fett is in that list. Like the Mando and seeing Black Chrysanthemum and certain other things that like moments and elements that I did like. I don't know if anything really involving Boba Fett would actually make that top 5 list of things that I enjoyed out of these 7 episodes. And like we've all kind of touched on before, the best parts of this show were the episodes not directed by Robert Rodriguez, and were the episodes that Boba Fett either was not in or was in for 60 seconds and literally didn't say a word. Right. But he couldn't be bothered.
It wasn't a Boba Fett show.
But he couldn't be bothered to put the helmet on for those 60 seconds too in that episode. So this show was just a series of baffling choices. I think that's really, really what it comes down to. It wasn't like this is absolutely horrible. This is like the worst thing you could have done. It's more like, why would you have done that? Like, what was the actual thinking behind doing that? Case in point, Fennec, you're like right up there as far as your best fighter goes with Mando. And she goes off literally 18 minutes. I looked 18 minutes into the episode. And then she doesn't come back until that very end when she goes in and takes out like the leadership of the Pikes and like the other mobsters and from Mos Esmos. And I'm thinking
we couldn't lead off with that. I mean, come on.
Well, but also I'm thinking it's like, well, but you lost your arguably best fighter for the whole thing, so she could go and do that at the end of the actual battle that you needed her for.
Right.
Wouldn't it have been more powerful for Boba Fett, knowing now that they were the ones responsible for killing the Tuskens, to go in at the end and him fuck them up? Like,
I expected to see him, honestly, when they were taking him out. I expected to see him, not her.
Yeah. That was just so it was just a series of confusing choices. It's like, you know what, you show how tough Black Chrysanthemum is, just ripping guys' arms off and stuff like that, but then you essentially have him subdued by a bunch of guys playing pig pile on Chrysanthemum, because that's essentially what they did. They all just kind of like hopped on top of him and he fell over. Right? Yes, he comes back into the fight, but he's basically just there to get shot a lot.
He's the tank.
Yeah, and also he was in the scene that this was so baffling to me when he's getting shot and the two like teenage bikers come to save him. Did anybody else notice the absolutely completely unnecessary and ridiculous spin move that she does before he shoots? I'm like, what are you spinning for?
Style points.
Nobody's shooting at you. There's nothing to dodge.
360 no scope.
He just pirouetted for no reason. I was like,
that was Seamus in Call of Duty. That's what that was.
Seriously.
But that's Rodriguez, right? He wanted to make Desperado in Star Wars. I mean, he even had the scene with the guy jumping off and firing on his way down from Desperado.
Yes. And so that's it. There were elements in this show in this episode that I liked. I thought visually it was really cool seeing Mando and Boba Fett jetpack in and then them back to back, kind of like, you know, gunslinging. And I thought that was cool. The cinematography around every scene that Cad Bane was in was amazing. Like, that was gorgeous. And Cad Bane, you know, here's the thing: if he's still alive, I don't know if I'm going to be more annoyed if he's alive or if he's not, because if he's alive, then it's cheesy. I mean, we saw him get stabbed in the chest and then he's lying there. Right. And I'll get to it in a second, but the post-credit scene that really pissed me off, it's also like, all right, well, so does literally everybody die but not die? Yep. Like, we're just doing that like all the time.
It's a Marvel movie where there are no consequences.
It's Disney. Yeah, that's Disney. And Disney's like, we're going to take this and we're going to run out with every show that we ever do. We're going to put that in it.
It's really, but that's also Disney, which made the choice to not have the cast of Rogue One survive, to kill them. And I think that was the right move. But in this, it's like, I don't understand. And it's just bad writing when you have the Freetown people come in and, you know, Mando says sorry about the marshal. And the bartender looks at him. He's like, they gunned him down in cold blood. All right. They gunned him down in cold blood means he's dead. Not he got shot in the shoulder, but we're taking care of him. He's still alive. Don't worry. He's still alive. But they didn't say that because they wanted everybody to believe that he was dead. And then we see the post-credit scene. And I swear to God, if he comes back like some cyber-modded, cyberpunk Alita Battle Angel, and I like Alita Battle Angel as a movie, but it doesn't belong in Star Wars. If they do that to Timothy Olyphant as Cobb Vanth, I'm going to be super pissed because he got shot in the shoulder, okay? Like, it was pretty obvious. He got shot in the shoulder. He's in a tank. What does he need cyber mods for?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Agreed. And also, it's like,
sadness.
When did they bring him to Mos Espas for the back to tank? Like, when exactly? Because either he was in such bad shape that he needed to be in it, in which case, well, I mean, you guys didn't bring him on a stretcher with.
They dropped him off before they showed up to help everybody.
Yeah, it's like, and Boba Fett just gets completely like, you know, there's nothing that we have come to love about the character. That it's like he basically got turned around in like 3 seconds by, we're going to go back to the palace where it's fortified, and the kids are, we're not going to abandon anybody here, we're staying here. He's like, okay, we'll stay here.
Yeah, he should have been like, screw you guys, I'm out of here.
It'd be like, you guys don't know how to fight. Like, tactics that makes no sense. You're like, we're not going to abandon these people. Actually, they're coming to kill Boba and his crew, which means you're endangering everybody by staying there in an unfortified position. Yeah. So go back where you've got your Rancor, where you've got your whole fortified palace. Fight on those terms over there, because that's where they're going to be coming for you. It was just like, there were just so many decisions.
Don't be bringing logic into this.
So, a couple things I want to add to this is, one, Fonzie in the chat is definitely wrong. Rogue One is definitely better than Mandalorian, even though Mandalorian's good. 2,
Rogue One is my all-time favorite piece of Star Wars content.
To add where Brendan and No Man kind of came in, is we had a connection with Rogue One characters. That's why most of us enjoy Rogue One as much as we did. With the Book of Boba Fett, there was a disconnect with almost every character, which is why we're all like we are.
Yeah.
Well, there was not a connection. It was a disconnection with every character, including Boba, which most people used to love.
The biggest disconnect with Boba was that Robert Rodriguez was trying to take something that he didn't earn. All right. And means Boba has been a bounty hunter. And then we saw him as this badass, like just destroying stormtroopers in Mando season 2. It's like, oh, this is the Boba that we've all wanted. Then we get to this show, and all of a sudden it's like happy-go-lucky Grandpa Boba, who, you know, wants to be, I want to rule with respect, and I'm going to bring these, you know, biker kids in to work for me and let them boss me around. And, you know, it's, if you want Boba to not be that hardened bounty hunter and you want him to be, you know, more of this really nice kind of honorable hero now, I don't think that's the right direction to go with him. But okay, if you're going to do that, and that's fine. You have to earn it. He has to go on that journey. All right. He cared about the Tuskens because they took him in and he learned from them, and then that's fine. You can be pissed when they get killed. But his whole, these are my people, I'm not going to abandon the people of my... Since when? Why are they? How are they your people?
Well, he learned it from he picked up some of those characteristics from the Tuscans. I get.
But the thing is, we never actually meet any of these people that he supposedly wants to protect. Right? You got the biker gang, and the people, all the people that were fighting with him were from Freetown.
Right? Well, yeah. No. Exactly. And there was, as big as that city, as Medic's background was, as large as this freaking city was, the fights were of like 20 people.
Yeah.
And one of the things I couldn't wrap my head around on this was at the end. So the amount of money the Pikes were making off of spice on the planet, and the only thing they did was, corral some civilians to go fight, and they didn't bring in like any other help other than Cad Bane to go take care of this problem, is unrealistic.
Well, and I think, to kind of boil everything down, at least from we kind of went through like individual scenes and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with the comment that not every episode of Clone Wars was fantastic. Not every episode of Rebels was fantastic.
Right.
The 3 most recent films, not fantastic. But for the most part, I never really experienced a episode in Clone Wars where I liked a character less after that episode. And for me, Boba Fett, after Mando season 2, was as good as I've ever liked Boba Fett. And now, after the series, I like Boba Fett less. And that's really kind of something you don't want to achieve when you dedicate an entire season to a character. And so, I agree with what Brendan was saying, which makes me totally question my side on this argument. But he's right. I mean, at the end of the day, Boba Fett was the most dangerous bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Hold on. He agreed with Brennan and Mike agreed on something. Can we timestamp this, please?
Well, no, they agree on Shane, but they also agree on this.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can all agree. Shane, he sucks.
Yeah.
He's the worst.
Brennan, you know what's funny is you don't even know the half of it yet. Just wait.
But I will say this. I do want to focus on the one good thing on this episode for me was Grogu. And as much as I hate his name, because I'm glad they put that into the script, he now has demonstrated.
I'm not calling you that
as a character. Before he was basically the equivalent of a puppy. He would follow Mando around. He'd be taken around, but he was very much reacting to his environment. And this episode, when he jumps into Mando's arms, he's wearing the shirt that he gave him. He's demonstrated that he is personally making choices as a character. And that I appreciate it, because there's only so much you can tolerate a 50-year-old character just being reactive to things. So
now, call me crazy. Did he talk when he landed? And did he say like hey or hello or something like that? Did I hear that?
No, he just kind of did his baby talk, like baby sounds.
Talk, yeah. Okay, it almost sounded like hello when he saw. I can't think of her name now. The what's her name?
I mean, I would imagine they'd have to have him start talking at some point.
That's what I wondered.
Like 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think
they start when they're 100.
I don't think I like Boba less now after seeing the series. I like the series less, but I don't think I like Boba less.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But I will tell you guys, there's definitely a season 2, so we got that to look forward to. And there's also.
But are we really looking forward to it?
Yeah,
yes. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna watch it, absolutely, but I'm not like I'm not holding breath like anticipation.
No, but here's the thing: they have so many more. If they're going to go backwards and bring in characters that we all know and love, and do that more often, I'm in. Cad Bane. I think they misused Cad Bane. Cad Bane's way more badass than they led him to believe. Like, I don't think he would have shot Cobb Vanth in the shoulder and left it and just walked away. He totally would have made sure he was freaking dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
I wanted Cobb Vanth to have, and like I understand Boba and Cad Bane have history, but I wanted Cobb Vanth to have another showdown with Cad Bane. I wanted like to see him come back and this is the other thing that it was really weak about this whole thing is that if you think about it, we didn't really have a villain. Like, Cad Bane came in last episode and then he's in this one, and he's got the quick, he's got the one standoff with Boba, and then he's got a showdown with him where they actually fight. But if you look at that,
Syndicate is the villain.
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
really,
but the Syndicate didn't have a head that really like represented them as like a villain. That it's like usually an evil group, or like the Empire. It has Darth Vader and it has Palpatine and stuff. The Syndicate didn't have anybody. Crimson Dawn had
but is the Syndicate
what's his name
dead?
before? But then had Darth Maul, right?
Yeah,
Right, but is the Syndicate dead though? That's the question.
No, I don't think it is. But my point is that like oftentimes we say like a movie is as good as its villain. Like we love The Dark Knight because of the Joker and things like, and just there was no real, you had Moff Gideon like looming in the distance. Vance refrigerator, yeah. We had him looming in the distance of Mando, right? But you didn't have somebody that was like that presence that you could feel. And in this, they spent the vast majority of this episode fighting 2 droids. And then because Cad Bane was dead, what do they do after the 2 droids? The idiot biker gang starts shooting at the Rancor that just helped them win. So now you're fighting the Rancor for like the last bit of the show, right? Yeah. There was no actual villain to go up against. It was 2 droids and then your own Rancor.
I'll be honest with you, the King Kong reference was
I wouldn't have finished.
Yeah, way over top.
Yeah. I was like Rodriguez. Who let that pass the cut? Like Filoni and Favreau, y'all didn't see that and go, yeah, that's a bit much, man. I mean.
Let's think. If we're getting a second season, that's fine. Please,
yeah, we're getting a second season.
David Rodriguez. I mean, Robert.
No, they need to give it to Bryce. They need to give it to Bryce
go.
and just be done with it. Just Rodriguez needs to be out as far as I'm concerned with Star Wars. Like he should just go do something else. Nobody asks me what I think, but I'm telling them. So
at this point, would you rather more Star Wars content from Robert Rodriguez or Rian Johnson?
Rian Johnson.
He at least had more
unpredictable
moments in those films than this was.
I give Rian Johnson a pass because he did Knives Out, and that's one of my favorite films, so he gets passed.
And he might bring in Ana de Armas to be in the next Star Wars film.
Ooh, Ana de Armas in Star Wars would be, as long as she's not a mod, like one of those. I'm good, man.
She was my favorite part about No Time to Die.
Yeah. So
she was also my favorite part.
Yes. So Ryan, what did you think? We've kind of given our,
Okay, so I when I finished watching today's episode, again at the end of it, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go do what I got to do now. Like there was no, like I didn't leave off going like I got to talk to somebody about this. Where the other ones I was like, dude, have you seen this yet? This one I was like, I don't. What's the point? So there was some good parts. The Fett and Mando team up with back to back in the alley thing. That was cool. We got some knee rockets. We got them flying off on their jetpacks. That was fine. That was cool. But that's kind of where it ended for me. Was kind of there. Cad Bane's death. Well, I don't think he's really dead, but that fight scene, I thought it was short, and I think he went down easier than Darth Maul did with Kenobi.
So let me ask you about that the scene that you like though, where they're back to back in the alley getting shot.
Yeah.
They need to choose either the blasters damage the characters or they don't, because right now the actors are acting like I did when I was 8 years old, playing, G.I. Joe or Cowboys and Indians or something. And somebody was going boom, boom. And you're like, oh, I got hit. And then they get up and they run around like nothing ever happened. So they need to either decide that the blasters hurt the characters or don't, or they just stand there and just take it like a tank. But this idea that they just keep flinching every time they get shot, and I'm supposed to be like, oh yeah, they're getting shot. It has no consequence.
I agree.
I think it's supposed to be like Kevlar, where you feel the impact, but it doesn't like break through. But maybe just a little bit.
Got all that Beskar all over.
They need some of the blast to go in between the armor and do some real damage to these characters, because otherwise, either
Well, the only person that hurt Mando was himself with the Darksaber.
The Darksaber, yeah.
Like me cutting onions.
Yeah. So
you would think at some point somebody would get one in between the plates of armor. Like
no. You can't do that. But I Fett and his little knee rockets, I like that. I thought that was cool. I wanted to see I wanted to see that, just stretched out a little bit more, and I wanted them to like lose. That's what I really wanted. I wanted them to like lose, and then maybe Fennec comes and helps them out or whatever. But that would have been great. Blacker Santon and his fight scene was completely ridiculous. He got stabbed in the back.
With like an axe.
With an axe, and he's just walking it off like that. What? That was ridiculous.
I love how he had a dislocated ankle and then started running.
Yeah, and then we got into the scorpion droids.
He was rewarded with a melon at the end, though.
He got a melon. That's more than Chewie got in The New Hope.
It's a melee run. It's different.
Right. So the scorpion droids they only sent 2. Like this, there's a mass money making empire going on here, and they sent 2 freaking droids.
That's the other thing is like, yeah, they sent in the droids. This is supposed to be like a big money making project for them, but we never really get a sense of why anybody cares about spice being run through Tatooine. Like, right. I understand, like, if they're likening it to heroin or something, and it's like, this, it's horrible for the community. It's a public health crisis. All this, if they're doing something like that, okay, but you have to like sell it. You have to show the impact of the spice trade on this outpost, on this planet. It's like, because if you're not, then it's just like, well, all right, what do you guys care? Like, we haven't seen any ill effects of it, so we're not necessarily behind you. Like, we got to stop it. Right. I mean, especially when you think about like 2 characters that have been central to, Star Wars in the, since its inception. I mean, you've got Han, and then, in the sequel trilogy, Poe Dameron, both of whom ran spice at some point. So like, you have 2 characters that are supposed to be beloved, that are supposed to be positive characters who have all been a part of this spice trade thing. So why is it so horrible? Like, if it is, that's fine, but you got to sell me on it. Just like you have to sell me on the journey that Boba takes, going from what we thought he was to going to what Robert Rodriguez was trying to make him in this show. You haven't earned it. You've got to earn it through good writing. And maybe the story that you want to tell takes multiple seasons, and you don't try and cram it all into one season, especially when 2 episodes don't even include your main character. Yeah. But I
agree. They should have showed some drug addicts going on in this. Like, there's none of that. There's no evidence.
Give us like the Star Wars equivalent of Bubbles from The Wire, Give us something.
It's Disney. Yeah. They won't show Addicts Alley.
And I agree with Linda that some of this is, things did not go the way I wanted it to go, or I would have scripted it to go. And so that is some of the disappointment I do, agree with. Sure. But for Cad Bane now has been, at least in 3 times, has done a showdown with a character in like Star Wars, and, won the showdown. He has established himself as a gunslinger. And the way gunslingers go down is they get taken down by another gunslinger. They don't get shot in the back like Billy the Kid. They go down one-on-one. And whether it would have been Cobb Vanth or it would have been Boba without his armor somehow, write that contrived into the script. I wanted the very last scene of Justified on the bridge, 2 guys showing it down in an honorable way. And if Cad Bane had been taken out by either Cobb Vanth or Boba in that manner, I think my entire perspective on this episode would have been completely different.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree. There was no payoff. There's no payoff in the whole episode. No payoff. Other than the big payoff, I'll give them this, was Grogu tapping on the glass to go faster. That was good. That was good.
That was good.
I smiled when that happened, and I was like, okay,
I want to go fast.
I thought that Grogu's like entrance into that battle I thought it was going to be like Mando's about to get killed by this droid, and then all of a sudden the droid gets like lifted up and just like spun around or something.
Those droids being that damn big,
and it was going to be Grogu there, who like I thought that was going to be his entrance,
like a force crush, like Luke did. With
something that just made a force crush. Yeah, it just made more sense to me. Or if he can't crush through the deflector shields, at least it like picks it up, spins it around, and like flings it or something. It was just again, these are everything we're talking about. It's not like I hate what they did in the sense that like, oh no, that like okay, it makes sense. Like if you want to go that route, I just don't like it. This is like, these are literal choices that just, I'm scratching my head, like actually trying to figure out what the reasoning was behind it. Cause I can't think of anything that actually makes sense that would make them want to make those choices.
Right. All right. So we've or were there any highlights about either this episode or maybe the series in general? I'll ask Josh his thoughts on this thing. What anything stand out to you that you would like? That's
Are we counting the Mando episodes?
Whatever you like, man.
Okay. I think the lore of the Mandalorians, the cool callbacks that we had in episode 5 and 6, seeing the armor again, getting to hear a little bit about the Darksaber, and obviously we learned that a little bit in Rebels with Sabine. Highlights though, man.
There were some highlights there.
There were, but it's just like it just got colored over in black Sharpie, man.
No. I think the Cad. Listen, I think at the end of the day, I think we had such a high seeing Cad Bane, that seeing what we saw disappointed so many people. And how many Star Wars fans that have been Star Wars fans for decades now, right? Wanted to see this, and then in one episode we get him, and then he's gone. Like that supposedly, let's say that supposedly gone. That's going to leave a lot of bad taste in people's mouths, and I think at the end of the day, it hurt a lot of people's feelings. Again, I'm not putting words into Josh's mouth, but I feel a lot of that coming out of people.
Yeah, I agree. Cad Bane was underutilized for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of highlights, I mean, I'm sure there is, man, but that just, for me, it just shows how much like I'm just not interested in the show to where I can't even call back and remember. I just know that episode 4 was my favorite non-Mando episode. I think that's where the season should have started. I think we should have got all the flashbacks in one episode and just hit the ground running with episode 4, because I thought that was honestly a great episode and I was very excited. But when we got episode 5 with all Mando, I was like, okay, cool. This could be like a mid-season, like kind of hype thing. We got 2 more episodes left. Like, let's get it. And then with episode 6 being the same thing. And then we got this. It was just so, I mean, did I enjoy watching the show? Yes. As a Star Wars fan, I enjoyed it. But as a Book of Boba Fett, did it give me what I needed? No. Did it really do anything for me? Not really. Outside of the 2 Mandalorian episodes, which, if that's what season 3 is going to be like for Mando, sign me up. Like,
no question.
Give me 8 to 10 episodes of that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's great. It was a fun show. I guess there was. I think for me personally, counting the Mando's episodes out, there was more negatives and positives for me. Because everything cool that they did, there was like 2 or 3 like really weird things that they threw in that was just like, well, okay. I mean, if that's how it's going to go, then that's how it's going to go. So right. it was cool, bro.
Medic did, and this is what I'm thinking about here as we're talking about this. If we did not have this show at all 7 episodes didn't exist, was Boba Fett's story advanced at all? Did it matter? That was,
I think to a degree, yes. And for the fact that you found out how we got out of the
no. I'm talking about his story himself, not what we learned. Him as a character.
Did he progress? No, I'll agree with that. No,
yeah. Nothing happened. And in Mando season 1, he grew and had Grogu and child and got Beskar armor and learned. He did all kinds of made connections with people and he did a lot of stuff.
All of his character development and his journey was in the flashbacks. It all happened pre-Mando season 2, right? It was, and it's funny because people at the beginning of the show were complaining that it was too flashback heavy and enough with the flashbacks, but the flashbacks were more interesting than anything that he really did in the present. That at least kind of like gave us some insight into his relationship with the Tuskens and how he got the robes and the gaffy stick and stuff like that. Did they spend maybe a little longer with it than they needed to? Sure. But at the same time, nothing was blowing my skirt up in the present. So, You know,
I like the Camino scenes and whatever. I thought those were cool, but
yeah, it's just there. Once the Tusken Raider line, like storyline, was kind of over, once that had run its course, there was no more character development. There was nothing that was moving any character forward in any discernible way.
Yeah. Did anybody else totally forget that he had a Rancor? Because I did. I totally forgot he even had one.
I wanted to see Danny Trejo again. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, where was he?
He was just a handler.
He was just there. He was there. I don't know.
The Rancor.
And someone mentioned in the comments earlier. I lost my train of thought. That like Mando was like really good right there. Not Mando, but Boba. Like you had all the character. You didn't have any character development up until that point, but you got to see the Tusken Raiders, which is something you see. I got to understand them a little bit better, which I think is a good point from this series is that the Tusken, getting to understand Tusken Raiders and as a whole, I did enjoy them a lot more. I'd have a greater respect, for lack of better terms, for them. And the other thing I also enjoyed, take away from the series, is that we did get the Pike Syndicate in live action, and that's not something we had before. And you know how deep and dark the Deep Syndicate, the Pike Syndicate can go.
Sure.
So. Is that over? No, I don't think so. But the other thing I was going to add back to my train of thought is why was Boba so worried about keeping control of the city? Like, what did he owe to the people? Like, he just showed up like, hey, I'm the crime lord. But why did he have to stay there? Like, he could, okay, my bad, I'm out, and go back to his, why was he so set on protecting the people? What did he owe to them?
He does surprisingly little crime for a crime lord.
Yeah. Well, and that was his motivation, right? He was tired of working for idiots. He wanted to do something on his own. It had nothing to do with protecting the common people. That they like kind of they changed that at some point in the episode. But like when he's talking to Fennec, she's like, "Why are you really doing this?" And he says, "Because I'm tired of working for other people. I want to build my own kingdom, palace, whatever." It had nothing to do with let me take care of the people in the working district. The only reason why you should care about the working district is because they pay him money.
Yeah, it's just another confusing. Here's the thing: they tried to make Boba Fett, who we know as a badass bounty hunter, right? He's not supposed to be the heroic type, and they tried to make him Mando because Mando was so successful in seasons 1 and 2, and people loved him, and they wanted to have those two on the same plane. They wanted to have and so they're like, "Oh, we're going to take Boba Fett and we're gonna make him likable. He's not gonna be an actual crime boss. He's gonna be like the robber with a heart of gold, and that's just it was. I think they were trying to make him as likable as Mando, and they forgot what made people like the character of Boba Fett in the first place.
We needed more action.
Which is just kind of crazy to me that Robert Rodriguez got it right in the episode that he directed of Mando. And then just pulled a complete 180 with the character in this show. I mean, ultimately, I'm happy that we got to see Cad Bane in live action because I think that I thought that character would be difficult for them to translate into live action, and they nailed it. And he was awesome. I loved seeing Timothy Olyphant again as Cobb Vanth. We got to see Ahsoka, and we got to see Luke. There's so many things that I really enjoyed about the show. It's just that if you look at the show in isolation and not as a thing of like fan service to other elements of Star Wars, I'm disappointed.
Right.
Hey, while we're all talking here and we're all loving on Boba Fett, Hot Toys just announced the quarter scale Boba Fett.
Well, I was waiting on that because I'm on their page. Oh, they're good. I had to refresh. So I was actually heading there next. So let's jump on here because I have the quarter scale Mando. I freaking love that thing, and I just really, really, really like it. But let's get into let's talk about this because of the recent episode drama. There's two versions. There's a regular and a deluxe. There's a regular and a deluxe.
Does this make you reconsider the quarter scale premium, the premium format, Ryan?
No, I want both of them. I'm good.
Although this is the repaint and not the
this is different. This is different. But the other one's the bird poop one. So no, I'm good. But yeah, so there is a 0 chance that I won't be picking this up. Whether you like the series or not, the quarter scale Mando is a freaking showstopper. I can only imagine this one's going to be just as good. And it is a repaint armor, like you just said. So we got a teaser on this either early this morning, a leak, or maybe it was last night. I can't remember. I know people were posting it all over Facebook going crazy, and I was like, I'm busy. I can't do this. But if they nail the head sculpt on the quarter scale, half as good as they did on the 6 scale one, dude, come on.
I mean, it looks pretty good. When you get to the close up of it,
look at this giant base.
Yeah, this thing is going to be massive. Now,
the Mando base is huge as it is. This one's light up function. Like, this is crazy.
This next to the quarter scale Mando, that's
11 inches by. That's like 11 by 11, roughly.
That's crazy, man. I like the paint applications are great. I'm in on this.
I know it'll never happen, but I want a quarter scale Cad Bane to go next to him.
Ooh. I almost picked up the previous quarter scale Fett. I was like this close to buying it. And then I was like, you know what? I really like this version of his armor and everything better. So I was hoping they would do this. So I didn't have to get the other one. The other one with the gray spacesuit. I like this better. But
what do you think, Josh?
I can't. I'm not doing quarter scale stuff. No room for it.
Well, you don't have to get it, but what do you think about how?
Oh no, I think it looks great. I have the 2-pack on order, so obviously the 6 scale version. So I mean,
you will love that. You will love that.
If I had room for the quarter scale stuff, man, I'd love it.
Dude,
it's more of a oomph.
Like if that's the end result, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, there is no question. I will be buying the bejesus out of this,
dude. Yeah,
it's just quarter scale. Like we all collect 6 scale. That's what Hot Toys sells as their bread and butter in terms of money makers. But where they really, really shine, as far as the artistry and the engineering, is in their quarter scale figures. If you ever have them in head, you'll be blown away. That quarter scale Homecoming Spidey. To this day, I keep saying it's the ultimate Spider-Man collectible.
Yeah, I have it right here next to me. Yeah. I don't use the head sculpt on it, but I do like the figure.
Their quarter scales are unrivaled, and this is an absolute must for me. Yeah.
All right.
So I guess the next thing is, going into figures.
Let me pause there, Josh.
I'm out.
Josh, he's got a bolt. He's got up early. Josh, welcome back anytime, brother.
Thank you. We'll talk
next
time. So I appreciate you guys. I'll be watching though. Have a good one, guys.
Sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
You're good. I'm just saying, going off since we're talking about figures now, and with the show as we talked about, does everybody still want a Black Chrysanthemum, and does everybody still want Cad Bane?
Yes, 100%.
Like Cad Bane, yes.
More than
Black
just a show.
I'm on the fence on.
I'm not on the fence at all. If they make it, I'll buy it.
Put it this way.
I'm not even talking about as a reviewer. Like as
a collector.
Put it this way. I have the 6 scale Venom, and I'm going to get the 6 scale Carnage from that pile of doo-doo that was Venom and Venom Let There Be Carnage. Those movies were atrocious, but the character designs and the figures are awesome. And Book of Boba was much better than those films. So I'm perfectly content with getting Cad Bane and Black Chrysanthemum from this show. Absolutely.
This expression is on point. I like this one a lot.
That's Tamora Morrison if it ever was. I mean,
that's crazy good.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some quarter scale flame effects. Hell yeah! All right, I haven't looked. Obviously, they just dropped this, so we're checking it out.
So we don't have to hit on this much, but I did want to say it before I forgot. With the ending of with like Mando and Grogu, like him taking off in the ship together, is that setting up season 3 of Mando?
Yes.
Do we think, or
yes.
Is that So are they really that tied together, or are we going to just kind of that just
seems like it? I mean, if you think about how much they've incorporated the 2 character lines have basically merged. I would imagine even Ahsoka's. I mean, we got 3 different shows that are tied into this, right? So,
and we are not.
I would imagine so.
And we're not done with Fennec Shand either.
No, not at all.
No,
like she's gonna show up in other places.
Yep.
I think we're building toward. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, but I think we're building toward like another like Siege of Mandalore level conflict, and all of these characters are coming in. I think Ahsoka is going to be coming in to help out Mando, whether or not that includes bringing in Sabine.
Let's get some rebel characters.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get them in the Ahsoka show. I just don't know what the order is going to be. I would kind of think that this would be the last season of Mando coming up. That's kind of been the rumor. And also, Pedro Pascal is going to be focusing most of his efforts and time on The Last of Us on HBO. And so I feel like they'll probably, with the number of shows they have going on, they'll probably end the Mando show this season or next, and then either he dies or he lives and then pops up in other properties, other shows or movies, something like that. But I think they're going to build toward a massive event on Mandalore with Bo-Katan and Mando and Boba and and bring Ahsoka in, and maybe Luke, maybe a Plo Koon, or something like that. But I think that's what it's building toward.
I'm looking at this figure, and the only difference I can see is the base. So
yeah, it's the base.
If you don't want the giant base,
sure.
I mean, it would have been a real, pardon my French, dick move if they said the head sculpt only came with the deluxe, like they did with the other, the 2-pack. But that's I'm glad if you don't.
I imagine the base isn't that much more between the regular.
Like I want that base.
Yeah, exactly.
Quarter scale throne.
That's as big as your speeder back there.
Well, I mean, whatever. I guess I could print myself one on the printer or whatever. But
can you imagine if they did the throne in quarter scale with it?
Let me look at it. They did it somehow. I don't know how they did that, but whatever. Photoshop or read. But
yeah,
this is epic. I don't think we're done with this. This has kind of been an interesting thing. They've been announcing Boba Fett figures while the show is going on, but every other Disney Plus show, they just wait like months and months and months to show us anything. Or like, where the hell's Hawkeye?
That's what I was saying. We still haven't gotten Hawkeye.
It's crazy. I am super excited for this, and I have the XM Studios quarter scale statue of Fett. I've got the new Sideshow one they're doing with the bird poop armor. And I'm absolutely going to get this. And now I'm stoked. In the chat, what are you guys thinking about this quarter scale Fett as we kind of go through here? Grogu getting his own helmet or something, that must happen. Grogu in a Mando helmet?
That would be kind of amazing.
I mean, we got Grogu with everything else. Why the hell
so
not?
Hot Toys are going to drop another Grogu with chainmail. They got to.
Oh yeah. Oh, 100%.
They got to. In fact,
someone said earlier,
but it's only going to be the collar.
Like I like them, but yeah, like enough's enough.
Enough is enough. What?
Grogu.
Oh, Grogu.
Yeah.
A lot of people felt like they were Grogu'd out by the end of the second season of Mando, and it was good that he was moving on with Luke, but clearly he's back.
Now he's back, and he's with, so chainmail, and he's back again. Like,
that being said, people were happy to see him in this finale, and in the previous episode, just because it was something that was good, because people were so disappointed with Boba in general that when they saw it's like, I was kind of Grogu'd out, but now it's good to see something that
it's something that is Star Wars. I'm okay with it. I'm good. I love the whole I can be a backpack while you run, and I love that whole scene. I was just I loved it, and I might have loved it less had that song not existed for 8 years or whatever, and it's got 4 gazillion views. No joke. I was at I went to the gym one night, and I left and went to Walmart because they're open till whenever. So and literally that song was playing in Walmart. I went to go look for some Black Series figures or whatever, and that song was playing in Walmart. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
You have a cool Walmart.
I will say that the music from Book of Fett is probably the best part of Book of Boba Fett.
It's so good. That theme, I love it.
Agreed.
Well, it's the guy that did
it's everything that comes after.
is the same. Yeah.
That log and a child.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
allowed to hate it. Let's wait till season 2. Let's see what plays into season 2.
We'll
I'm
see.
not. Again, I don't. It's one of those like, hey, I got 7 episodes of more Star Wars. Love or hate it, I still got it.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true. It's better than not getting anything, because if we get 20 Star Wars properties from TVs to films and half of them we love, then that's 10 things we wouldn't have had if they were just not doing anything with the IP. So it's
that's my original point.
Yeah, it's like we can still be irritated at things that happen in the ones that we don't like, but I'm not going to let that overshadow loving the things that I do love. So
yeah, no, I just think it makes us a little bit more pensive when it comes to thinking about these. We're a little, or at least I am, a little less excited for Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, and a little bit more, ooh, I just hope that they don't mess it up kind of feeling. I still want to see it. I still can't wait to see it, but I'm not going in with the same optimism that I would probably come in with if I had stopped at episode 6 instead of episode 7.
We've been woken up to the harsh reality that not every swing is going to lead to a home run. Like there are going to be some
it's all about who directs it, right? So at this point, it's all about who directs the episodes, and that's what they're going to boil down to.
So kind of moving forward just a little bit, so we're not here for Obi-Wan. 25 hours because we can be. Kenobi, May 25th. So best believe we will be having a recap stream after every episode of this. That's definitely going to be a thing. But so they gave us, I love this photo of Ewan McGregor, aka Jesus, playing Walking in the Desert. This is right here. This is what it started. The story begins 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Got his greatest defeat, the downfall and the corruption of his best friend and Jedi apprentice Anakin, who turned to the dark side and became the evil Sith Lord. The series also marks the return of Hayden Christensen in the role of Darth Vader. I can't wait, man. I cannot freaking wait. But I'm with Mike. I think he should be Clone Wars like Vader, like Rebels Vader, badass Vader. I think he should. I mean, he's 10 years later.
I mean, I want to be fair to Hayden Christensen. That dude has gone through a lot of life since those films. I'm sure he'll bring a more mature, perspective to the character.
Absolutely.
So I'm hopeful.
I just love it. I love that people are so excited for him, because I remember when the prequels came out, man, and there was so much hate directed at him. People just hated Hayden Christensen, and it's like it's
kind of creepy, man.
People, well, yeah, but and the thing is, I always said from the beginning, is like, yeah, he played him as kind of like whiny and a little obnoxious and stuff, but it was like, that's how George Lucas wrote and directed.
Exactly.
It wasn't like Hayden Christensen made a creative choice, or this is how I want to play Anakin. That's how he was told to play Anakin by the guy who created the whole mythos. So I think he got some.
Lloyd.
Yeah. Look how it turned out for Jake Lloyd.
Yeah,
so,
that was, I don't wish ill will.
That's why we're never getting a 6 scale of Anakin as a child from Phantom Menace, by the way, because they know, if they try and make money off of his likeness after everything he went through, it'll backlash on them like crazy. But this is, I'm happy. I'm there with you. I'm happy that that he's coming back, and I'm happy that people are welcoming him back with open arms, because I didn't know if they were. So it's cool that that's happening.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to share one more thing just as a sneak peek, if I can. Because after this live stream, after we jump off of here, I'm going to be dropping a video. And if anybody's interested, we'll just jump from this one to that one. We're going to be dropping this video tonight. So I know some people are somewhat interested in this. So we're going to be dropping that.
Time on that one.
Well, no, maybe. I don't know. It's a
good looking piece.
It's freaking huge. So we're going to jump from here to that premiere after this, for anybody who's happened to be still awake. For those people on the West Coast who get to watch Book of Boba Fett or Mando at midnight, you suck, because we got to wait till 3 a.m. So you got stuff.
And then there's Peacemaker tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, Peacemaker.
It's so funny. I was just thinking of that earlier. I was just thinking that like the highlight for me of content watching this week is not going to be the finale of Book of Boba, but is going to be a DC property on television. It's
I will gladly.
The show has been
admit it.
great. It's crazy, with the very spotty
It is
record
sadly
that
good.
Warner Brothers has. That it's Peacemaker that is going to
And the one DC guy here doesn't like it.
I know, that's what makes it even better. That's what makes it even better.
This is how bad it's gotten though. Like, so since DC, and excuse me, Jeddah, for a second. I know this isn't what this is about, but since DC has changed their prerogative, they've tanked really hard.
Here's the thing.
Watch, yeah, there you go. Watch out for that hatchet.
Anyways. So
did you hear that sound?
I agree. DC
that was the sound of a can of worms being opened.
Yeah.
So they have tanked, right? And they've tanked bad, and it's proven in their numbers. It's proven in the profits and everything else.
I agree.
Right?
They're not alone. They're Marvel
but
did some stuff.
The decisions that's came out of AT&T and WB has been astronomically bad. I mean, Swamp Thing, that when they had those runs of TV shows, Doom Patrol is awesome. Titans is really good. Swamp Thing could have led into Justice League Dark, and they killed it.
Swamp Thing was like their best reviewed property.
Yeah, exactly. You're correct. And then we get Peacemaker. Like, no offense, I get it, John Cena. It's funny, the show fucking sucks. Freedom. Sorry, I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
You just don't like the dove. You don't like the dove of peace. That's all.
No, I don't.
That's because every time he draws it looks like a ghost.
And it frustrates me as a DC fan that that's what we get. Like, oh, you're going to stick with this and not the shows that were actually working. Okay, thanks.
Peacemakers, dude. When they're like, not to spoil anything, but when the I can't remember her name, Hardcore was trying to give him a snack, and he's throwing away the pieces that are empty calories. That was brilliant, man.
that
was brilliant. That was good.
You can't walk with the pinky toe. It's the most important toe. You'll just fall right over every time.
No, but to Seamus's defense, I feel like we would feel the same way on the Marvel side if they came out with a TV show on like Morph, right. And everybody all of a sudden starts saying that they're Marvel fans because they love this TV show with Morph. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, you've ruined all the good properties, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, you've gone down the list and everybody's saying, oh, I like DC because of Peacemaker.
Well,
if they canceled, if they decided we're done with the X-Men, but then they made a multiple man movie, like, that would be, I get it. That would be rough. I get that. That being said, Peacemaker is fucking funny.
Now he's in the Polka Dot Man show. I mean,
like the best
Polka Dot Man
come up with is Eagly. Like that's
Eagly, yeah.
Dad, he's getting
Eagly's hardcore.
My camera.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So it's not for children. Just throwing that out there. Not for young ones. But so it's been a nice flicker of light in the darkness that has been Boba Fett.
I watched the opening credits sequence in its entirety every single time.
It's such cringe.
I do not. James Gunn even said,
good.
He even said, he's like, I wanted to make this so absurd, have them completely stone-faced while doing this ridiculous thing so that people would not hit the skip intro button. And damn it if it didn't work, because I watch it every time.
I skip it every damn time. It's a beautiful thing. I watched the episode because
you guys were
like, you gotta watch the show. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance and I'll watch what they have now. I've done that. And guess what? I lost those hours in my life. I'm just saying. So well,
that's your
Jeddah trolling. This is Jeddah right now, stirring the pot.
It's your punishment for hacking Call of Duty.
You guys think it was bad then?
Terrible.
Just wait now.
It's so bad.
Oh, we poked the bear.
It's so bad.
Mike will tell you. Mike's even mentioned it a few times while we've been playing. You guys know he's taking it easy on us, right? Okay, keep it up, champs, and find out
in circles.
Yeah.
I told I remember I told I was like, we should all like just record ourselves doing this dance. It would be look at this so bad.
That ain't gonna happen.
So bad.
Yes.
I'll be your main mod for a long time, Jeddah, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this will never happen. Not this fat white guy. It ain't gonna happen.
It's so terrible.
Come on. When he picks up Judo Master at the end and puts him on his shoulder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there he is. There he is.
And then eagerly like spreading.
It's like a toddler on his shoulder.
It's like DC's a big joke now, man. It's like this is so.
Yeah, but it's a funny joke.
It's pretty good.
Man, it's really tough. It really is. Like this is it's just tough. I don't know, man.
Anyway,
James, did you not like the Suicide Squad movie?
Which one?
The James Gunn one, the Suicide Squad.
Oh, the newest one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, okay.
Good. But Peacemaker wasn't the character. I thought, again, I wasn't a fan of his character.
Yeah.
And I have his comics. I have his comics behind me just so I can know some background. But again, it was like, because I have to give, if I'm going to talk about it, or if I'm going to hate it or love it, I have to know some history on it. And it's not, out of all the DC characters, we get the guy with the toilet head on him.
You just didn't feel an overwhelming desire to watch a show of him just on a beach littered with dicks to just eat all of them.
And
this wasn't for you.
What?
Yeah, and on that we're gone.
This became After Dark. Just so everybody knows, this went to
That's his biggest with him and Idris Elba in the Suicide Squad movie. If this beach were covered,
right.
I had to eat every one of them for freedom.
You're missing. Never mind. Shut up. Never mind.
Go watch the movie again.
All right, we're gonna call that a night because everybody's got stuff they got to do. I'm gonna go to this premiere up of the Race Speeder. If you guys want to jump over there and join, that's great. If not, it's all good. Watch it tomorrow. But yeah, we had a good time. So we're gonna do this again. Hopefully before May 25th, we'll do something else. Maybe we'll come back and talk about Peacemaker. Maybe. We'll see. After, I don't know how many more episodes are left, but
got Moon Knight.
This week and next week.
30th.
This week and next week, yeah. So there you go. Anyways, thanks to these fine gentlemen for joining us. No Man and Seamus and Medic and Brendan. It's been fun. It's been real. But we're getting out of here. I'll see you guys in the premiere for Race Speeder. We out.